So I've been thinking a lot about Satan recently. Not in like I'm holed up in a bell tower with an automatic weapon kind of way, but just in general. Public relations, PR for Satan, the devil's advocate, if you will. And I've been thinking the thing about Satan is he's supposed to be the most terrifying creature we could ever imagine. And what do we have to work with? Half man, half goat with a pitchfork. That's not terrifying. That's adorable. I saw that on YouTube the other week. I mean, I'm sure that at one point that was terrifying. Like if I were a farmer in the Middle Ages, the thought of livestock appropriating farming equipment and using it against me would be terrifying. I mean, waking up with a horse with a spade in its mouth looming over you at night, I'm sure it was terrifying. But nowadays it needs a little bit of an update. You know, Satan needs like lasers and robot arms, and you know, it needs to be like Hitler had sex with a Chinese snakefish and Inspector Gadget. That would terrify me. Go Satan. Anyway, I wouldn't put it past the church to come up with this kind of update because they're very current. They're very hip. We don't think they are, but they are. And I know this because I recently went to Easter services. A friend of mine dragged me to Easter services, and she warned me. She said it's an urban church, and we know what that's code for. It's in a large metropolitan area, and so there were a lot of black people, and I came in, and Easter has now been, this church is up with it. It's not like what I remember from Ohio. This church, it's not even called Easter. It's called Resurrection Sunday, which admittedly has more zip, and Sunday Night SmackDown was already taken, so they came up with that instead. So we come in, and we say, Happy Resurrection Sunday. Oh, Happy Resurrection Sunday. And then there's a big sign above our amphitheater that we're having this church in, and it says, He's alive! And it is like lightning bolts coming out of it. Now, I would think that references to Frankenstein would be frowned upon on Easter, the fictional story of a man-made demigod to soothe our own loneliness, but apparently they were comfortable with it. I mean, the endings are totally different. It was hard to kill Frankenstein. Too soon? It's been 2 millennia. Okay. And so they start out, he's alive. And so we're saying Happy Resurrection Sunday. And the deacon comes out and he says, everybody, let's give a standing ovation to Jesus. So we give a standing ovation as though the Ascension were David Blaine's latest shenanigan on Good Morning America. He's like, I'm going to put myself in this cave for 40 days. And so we're all clapping. And then he tells us to get ready to raise the roof on the house of God. And so the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir comes out. Now, I don't know what the word tabernacle means, but if I were to guess based upon their performance, I would say it's an old English word that means slightly below average in quality. And like, how's the soup? A little tabernacle. And so they come out and they start singing up a storm. And a secondary deacon has now come on stage. So one deacon is singing, and one deacon is like Timbaland in the background. It's like, hey, yeah, freaking, hey, man. And they're all singing, and it's like we're back up, like Jesus Christ and the Pips suddenly. We're just singing along. And they start clapping on 2 and 4, but then suddenly they start going like I'm at Our Lady of Gloria Estefan. It's like somewhere between West Side Story and the opening of Friends. I don't know what's going on. And all the white people are acting like robots on fire. They have no idea what's going on. They're like, ooh. And what I didn't realize is that eventually, at the end of the song, the ending, there's not like an amen. What it is a 1-minute vamp section where people are allowed, they put their hands out like this to pick up Jesus Radio, which is going digital June 12th. And your old hands will no longer work. And they just kind of scat. I had a Zealot Fitzgerald in front of me. She's like, ba 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 Jesus, I'm gonna make you a cake, listen to you in the car. And she was crazy. But it's very, very hip, very current. And on the way out, this the preacher is giving baptisms like he's Oprah. He's like, you get baptized and you get baptized. And people are like getting their coats and their keys and they're ready to go. And this old woman falls down the stairs, which I don't know if you've seen anyone fall down stairs recently, but it's more hilarious because it's a continual process of falling because they're going down the stairs still. So they're like, it is great. And so we're all laughing because we're in church and she just fell. And we're like, ha ha ha, she got smited for leaving early. And they were like, he is alive. All right, thanks everybody. Jess Burkle, have a good night.